There's one topic that I want to make sure we do cover, and then we're going to wrap up, which is the problem solving. What I was saying to you with lean methodology, there's a whole problem framing exercise. And here's an example. This example has been used in Harvard reviews. The landlord gets complaint from all the tenants, many tenants, the elevator is too slow. And of course, they start coming up with solutions, right? That's the problem. So what is the solution? And the solution could be make the elevator, install a new lift, upgrade the motor improvement or algorithm, and so on. Of course, if they apply the 5 why principle tools, they may understand better what are the root causes of the elevator being slow. But when we're talking about innovation, sometimes what we always say, we have to step outside of the box we're in to start thinking about problem in very different and multidimensional way. So just like example we used before with transportation, you have a horse, therefore if we want a faster transportation, we're going to attach wheels to the horse. But if you reframe and start thinking in a different dimension, multidimensional way, you start thinking what are other ways of actually creating new ways of transportation. So the example of solving the right problem, right? So the question is, if the complaints we're getting, the elevator is slow, are we solving the right problem? Is this the reason? What is the reason that we're getting these messages that the elevator is slow, right? So if we take it for the grain of salt and say, okay, we have to fix elevator because everybody says it's slow, we're going to invest a lot of money and try to make elevator move faster. But if we reframe the problem and start thinking, okay, maybe there's a reason why our tenants are saying that, because maybe they want to get a bargaining tool for rent discounts, Maybe they're complaining because their rent is too high, so they're saying the elevator is slow, and therefore, please reduce my rent. Okay? So, the solution may be renegotiate your monthly rent in that case. Another way is, maybe tenants are just feeling not productive. They're annoyed by waiting for the elevator, right? And so in this case, maybe we need to think about how to entertain them while they're inside the elevator, so that they stop complaining about the elevator being slow. The simple one is they just bored. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time being in the elevator, and especially if it stops on every floor. So this is what industrial designers do. They'll put mirrors all around, So this is a way of thinking about reframing problem statement, right? So when there's a problem in front of you, you always want to ask many, many times, is this the right problem? Is this the problem we're trying to solve? Is this the real problem? Or is there underlying other problems that create this kind of theme around that this is a problem, right? So just think about this elevator slow. You can even Google that. I love that example because it just puts you in a different perspective. There's a whole article about reframing from Harvard Review. If you're trying to embark on innovations in your companies, I think it's the first thing that everybody from your executives to your every level of organization should read, right? So I don't want to take much more of the time, but some of the concepts of lean is around lean startup. And I think you've heard in this room, especially with the speakers here, start small, try something, fail, learn from it, and start over, right? We don't want to continue with the old ways of doing things, which was, put together a business case, the ROI, you get 20 executives in the room, and they take about a year to talk about it, So I'm just talking about the lean startup and the agile. You have to sometimes just move and try things. Doesn't mean you have to sign up and say, it's going to cost us millions of dollars. You just have to test the market first. And this is the last of the methodologies, which is design thinking. Again, it goes back to voice of a customer. You want to bring your customer as well as other stakeholders as soon as possible. It shouldn't be just them deciding how best to design it, or us being the lean efficiency experts. It's really about, bring all the right stakeholders to the table, right?